Depression is one of the most complex and challenging experiences a person can face. It's not just sadness or a sense of melancholy. It cuts deeper, often making individuals feel fundamentally flawed or incapable. But have you ever wondered, why does depression seem to strike some of the most thoughtful, conscientious, and even kind-hearted people? Could there be a connection between being good and experiencing depression? Let's explore this provocative question. Dorothy Rowe, a prominent psychologist, argued that depression is often a defense mechanism, a way to hold ourselves together when we feel like we're falling apart. Rowe famously claimed, "Only good people get depressed." At first glance, this statement may seem perplexing, even counterintuitive. What did she mean? Rowe believed that the self is not a fixed entity, but a dynamic construct shaped by experiences and social interactions. According to her, people internalize societal values and norms to construct their sense of self. However, when individuals feel they have fallen short of these societal ideals, such as being a hard worker or successful, they experience a profound sense of inadequacy. This gap between the real self and the ideal self can lead to depression. Rowe emphasized the role of psychological prisons, self-imposed limitations formed by rigid self-beliefs and narratives. For example, a perfectionist might believe they must excel in everything to be worthy of love. When they inevitably fall short, their entire sense of meaning is threatened, leading to psychological distress. To enrich our understanding, let's turn to William James, the American philosopher and psychologist who wrote extensively on the human condition. In Asterisk, The Varieties of Religious Experience Asterisk, 1902, James introduced the concept of the sick soul, describing individuals who are acutely aware of life's imperfections and struggles. These individuals, often deeply introspective and sensitive, are more prone to existential crises and depression. James argued that this heightened sensitivity allows them to grapple with profound truths about life, morality, and suffering, a hallmark of what we might call goodness. James's perspective aligns with Rowe's in that depression can emerge from a profound engagement with moral and existential questions. Those who are deeply reflective or empathetic may carry the weight of the world's suffering, making them more susceptible to depressive states. Another key figure in understanding depression and resilience is Viktor Frankl, an Austrian neurologist, psychiatrist, and Holocaust survivor. In his seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning Asterisk, 1946, Frankl argued that the primary drive of human beings is not pleasure, as Freud suggested, but the pursuit of meaning. According to Frankl, individuals who lose their sense of purpose are more likely to experience existential despair, which can manifest as depression. This suggests that the issue is not about being inherently good or bad, but about finding a sense of purpose in life. Jean-Paul Sartre's existential philosophy offers a provocative perspective here, focusing on how to confront a life that seems devoid of inherent meaning. Sartre argued that individuals must create their own purpose through acts of will and personal choice, embracing the freedom and responsibility that comes with this realization. Even so, the best way to find a sense of purpose in life might lie in realizing one's demon. The concept of the demon refers to an inner guiding force or unique personal essence that drives each individual to fulfill their true potential. Originating in ancient Greek philosophy and explored by thinkers like Carl Jung in the modern era, the daemon represents our deepest aspirations and talents, our unique purpose. By aligning with this inner guide, individuals can create a sense of meaning that transcends societal expectations or external validations. This journey is not about conforming to rigid ideals, but embracing a path that feels authentic and fulfilling. Sartre's existential philosophy complements this idea by acknowledging the challenge of navigating a life devoid of inherent meaning and encouraging the creation of one's own purpose through deliberate choice and commitment. Frankl's logotherapy emphasizes the importance of finding meaning even in suffering. For individuals prone to depression, this approach offers a way to reframe their struggles as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. While not explicitly American, Frankl's influence on American psychology and self-help culture has been profound, making his insights highly relevant to this discussion. Both Rowe and James acknowledge the broader societal factors contributing to depression. Rowe highlighted how systemic inequalities, power dynamics, and rigid social hierarchies can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy. Similarly, James observed how cultural expectations shape individuals' inner lives, often imposing unrealistic ideals. More recently, psychologists like Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, have explored the interplay between societal pressures and mental health. Seligman's concept of learned helplessness suggests that when people feel powerless to meet societal demands, they may develop a sense of despair that mirrors depression. These insights further underline the role of external influences in shaping internal struggles. Expanding into the realm of neuroscience, Robert Sapolsky, a renowned American neuroendocrinologist, has provided groundbreaking insights into the biological underpinnings of depression. In his book, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, 1994, Sapolsky explains how chronic stress can alter brain chemistry, particularly in regions like the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, leading to symptoms of depression. Sapolsky emphasizes that while depression has a biological basis, it is deeply influenced by environmental and social factors. For good people, those who are empathetic, conscientious, and deeply reflective, the weight of societal expectations and personal guilt may exacerbate stress responses, making them more vulnerable to depression. His work bridges the gap between psychology and biology, offering a holistic view of mental health. Returning to Rowe's claim, the idea that only good people get depressed stems from the observation that those who strive to live ethically, care deeply for others, or hold themselves to high moral standards are often more vulnerable to feelings of inadequacy and guilt. Returning to Rowe's claim, the idea that only good people get depressed stems from the observation that those who strive to live ethically, care deeply for others, or hold themselves to high moral standards are often more vulnerable to feelings of inadequacy and guilt. Their empathy and conscientiousness, traits typically associated with goodness, make them more attuned to their own shortcomings and the suffering of others. However, this goodness can also become a double-edged sword. As Rowe noted, depression often arises when individuals, trapped in their psychological prisons, fail to adapt their self-narratives to changing circumstances. Breaking free from these prisons involves revising rigid beliefs and embracing self-acceptance. Philosophers and psychologists alike emphasize the importance of acceptance in navigating depression. Rowe reminded us that understanding isn't always a prerequisite for love or healing. We can love someone without understanding them. Similarly, James suggested that integrating the sick soul into a broader perspective on life can lead to deeper wisdom and resilience. Frankl's emphasis on finding meaning in suffering and Sapolsky's insights into the biological impacts of stress further enrich this narrative. By combining introspection with external support and by challenging rigid self-beliefs, individuals can begin to reconstruct their sense of self in a way that is both flexible and empowering. Depression, as painful as it is, can become a pathway to growth and a deeper understanding of oneself and the world. So, does being good predispose someone to depression? Perhaps, but it also provides the foundation for profound resilience, compassion, and transformation. We will delve deeper into these themes in future videos. If you don't want to waste the opportunity to understand your true potential, make sure to watch our upcoming video on Jung.